My name is Kenny Brownlee of EasyBee Software. Welcome to my introduction demo video for my Pro Email Tools software. Now this software is basically designed, it really has just one purpose. There was a time when I set up VPS servers, or I rent, private servers, and I install websites on them and do all kind of different things with them. But one of the main things I do is set up websites on virtual private servers. And the software that I use usually installs an email software program called MailEnable. Well, not long after I had set up one of my servers, I got attacked basically by the dark web that was able to gain access through one of my email accounts by simply guessing at the password until it got in. And it was able to sent out more than 350,000 spam emails before I knew what was going on. So I decided then I was going to learn how to read the activity files and learn how to pick that up. And then I realized I could add IP addresses to a block list file in MailEnable, but you have to do it manually. And so it was real time consuming trying to track the activity of a dark web trying to log into my mail server. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to write a program to do just that. And that's what this is. So basically, I'm just going to crank up my Pro Lock List program. It's basically set up where I can set the time increment of how often I want it to run, from 5 minutes, as you can see, through 15-minute increments to an hour. Then I jump to a quarter increment. And then it goes to, once I get to I go to half hours here. And then I just jump an hour from 4 to 8 hours. And I found that sometimes, depending on your server, you may have to set it at 5 minutes because you can get hit. You can get hit hard sometimes, and it don't take long for it to attempt things. But I normally, for one of my particular servers, I usually set it at 15. And these are some manual sections that I can load the block list table and take a look at my current block list table. Or I can just load the activity file all by itself without it really truly updating anything. Okay. Now if I wanted to build my activity, I could manually do it at this point. But I can accomplish basically the same thing by starting my program, and it will initially run for the first time, and then it sets the time increment to the next 15 minutes. So the last run was 12:06, the next one will be 12:21, 15 minutes from now. So I'm basically just going to turn this off because I don't want it to run while I'm doing this video. But let me show you what it does and why I developed it. If I slide this over and look at my update status log that keeps track of when it does pick up an IP, it tells you how many times it had attempted before it picked it up. Now, it's looking for it to be 5. If it's over 5, it'll pick it up and put it in the block list table. But sometimes it can hit so hard, like this one, for example. That's 4,754 attempts. This is 3,667. So in a case like that, you might want to try to set your time frame to 5 minutes. Because this happened on one of my other servers, but that's what can actually take place on your server. And it's really unreal. It's kind of scary. But let me show you what it did today. This is what it's done today out of this run. There's 467 access denies. These are these are IP addresses that's been added to my block. So they're getting blocked. And you can see, I mean, that's 467 from ones that I've already blocked. Here's the error code 535, which is these are the ones that are attempting to get in today. And they're not, most of them are not blocked yet because they haven't tried more than 5 times today. But one down at the bottom has, and this is what I kind of wanted to show you. There's actually 8 hits here. So what this program did today, it found, it picked up that IP right there, that 87.237 right there. It picked it up and it actually added it to my block list here. And so it did that automatically. And that's what this program's all about. Again, this is developed to run against an email server called MailEnable. And it's pretty popular, especially if you use Plisk, the website development tools. It normally installs the webmail mail server, and that's what it runs. So if you're in that situation and you're having, you want an automated program that can track invalid accesses to your server trying to gain access through an email account, you might want to check this program out, because it saved me a lot of time, and it really allows me to sleep better at night, because I've got this program running on, you know, several servers, and I don't have to worry about it. I just have to check it each day. I crank up the servers, remote into them, and make sure this is still running and keep an eye on it. And if it's not running, I'll fire it back up. Because sometimes these virtual private servers, they'll be rebooted over the weekend or late at night or something. You have to make sure your program's still running. But basically, that's all you do. You start it, and then you leave it. You just leave it running, leave this on the screen, and you just exit out of your server and let it run. And it'll run 24/7 and block IPs for you based on the parameters that you've set up. Again, I could change it to run every 10 minutes. I could change this if I wanted to every 8. So I can do that type thing. So that's pretty much the software. And again, this is designed to track the IP activity on a email server called MailEnable. Now, I do have a premium edition that actually requires a SQL Server installation. And what it's designed to do is basically allow you to import the activity files and the debug log files. That way you can load them up and actually be able to filter IP addresses, sort it, and actually be able to examine your activity file without having to double click into a text file and really not have any ability at all to, to sort or anything like that. For example, here I can enter 535, and that's going to give me everything that has been an invalid attempt. And I could even narrow it down to the IP address. So it basically has the feature. It basically has the feature to allow me to sort and filter things like this. So that's it's a little extra for the premium edition, but the main edition is going to have the review log, and it's going to have the open, or basically the pro block list program, which is really its design. That's what it was designed to do. So thank you very much for taking a look at the video. I hope that if you're running MailEnable, you might want to check this out. It's a nice little program. Thanks.